For the avoidance of doubt, The Simple Side does not provide investment, tax, or legal advice. As with any asset, the value of any asset class can go up or down, and there can be substantial risk that you lose your money buying, selling, holding, or investing in any asset. You should carefully consider whether trading or holding assets is suitable for you in light of your financial condition.
Welcome to the simple side. Market beating picks inside. There's no jargon and no time to waste. Join the simple side and end up in first place. Welcome to the simple side. Market beating.
All right, welcome back to the Simple Sides weekly podcast. Of course, we call this podcast the Saturday Sendout, so that's probably how you found us. You can also follow along this podcast with our newsletter that you can find at thesimpleside.substack.com. You don't even have to sign up to be able to follow along today. If you just want to listen to the podcast, you can listen to the podcast and just go follow along on the website, but you also don't have to. We have a ton to get into today, and I want to get through it all. It's going to take quite a while, so stick around. I'm going to run you through everything that we're going to talk about here in just a second, but I want to remind you that in the newsletter, we have a link to a survey that you can go and fill out and tell us how you like the newsletter, how you dislike the newsletter, how you like the podcast, how you dislike the podcast, and then give us your recommendations for what you want to see changed, added, deleted, whatever you want to say. And we take all those suggestions every week, and I tell you about the ones that I'm going to be implementing. I tell you about it right here, right now. As a reminder, in the past, the survey has gotten me to add a gold tracker that goes out every week in today's podcast, in today's newsletter. We've got a summary of weekly stock analyses that happen as well. We've done copy trading and all of the daily stock analyses as well. So you can go and get those. Again, there's a link in the newsletter. You can find that link and this newsletter at thesimpleside.substack.com. So go and find that. Go enjoy all of those daily stock analyses. If you want those, it's $1 a month to get access to all that. And then those, again, come out every single day, sometimes twice a day. So go and check that out. But let's talk about the requests that we were given last week for this week's newsletter. And I'm super, super excited about these because these are some great ideas. The first thing that we have is someone asked for a reliable stock / ETF scanner add-on. And I'm actually really glad this got said because I'm actually already developing one of these. And like I said in the newsletter, ask and you shall receive. So I'm developing one of these and I'm building a system that will be ranking stocks just based off of how their performance is relative to their competitors in their respective industries. So I've developed a couple of test systems that I'm using now. Coding the rankings to happen properly is a bit of a challenge, but it's on the way. And maybe I'll share a beta test with you, just like our website that's in beta right now. And you can find that at thesimpleside.news. You can just look up that website and you'll find it there. Let's talk about this next request. Someone said, I frequently trade options, so I would benefit greatly if you could include a section on options, whether it is education or trades or anything related to options trading. Secondly, a short paragraph on market outlook would be great. Again, ask and you shall receive. I'm going to be adding a quick market overview at the beginning of all of the newsletters and all of the podcasts going forward. I think this is a great idea, and I can't believe I wasn't doing it before, so it's being added. But on the options and earnings side of this, or on the options and the trading side of this, I actually do have options and earnings already in my newsletter. It's for paying subscribers at the very, very bottom of the newsletter. So you can go and check that out. Again, if you're a paying subscriber, it's at the very bottom. Sometimes these emails get too long to fit everything in an email, and Google gets upset about that kind of stuff, and Gmail doesn't like it. And so you might have to go to my actual website to read through the entire thing. But if you're a paying subscriber, you'll just have to make an account on that website, and you'll be able to see all of this stuff. That being said, I do want to add an educational newsletter that I'll be sending out every week. And this is something that I'm going to put, quote unquote, into production. So I'm building it out for you guys. If you like the idea, if you don't like the idea, tell me in the comments. I think you can comment on almost everything now. Even Spotify has a comment section. So tell me in the comments of this, or tell me in the comments on Substack, or restack this post on Substack and tell me, or email me, thesimplesidenews@gmail.com, and let me know your opinions on that idea. But we are putting that in. All right, the next request was insider stock buying in more detail. Don't worry, that's being done. more on option strategies that are reliable for extra income, quote, in retirement. Strategies that are not so complicated and hard to understand. Something for a 20K or so trading account to generate approximately $750 to $1,000 a week. So I have two things here. First off, I'm going to be adding more detail into the stock purchases. That is happening now. The second thing I want to say is I'll be highlighting the past buying and selling of the insiders as well. And the last thing I have is generating $1,000 a week from a $20,000 portfolio means you're going to be getting returns over 200% annually. And I won't lie to you, I don't think that is reliably possible without taking an exorbitant amount of risk. You'll have to take crazy amounts of risk. If someone's telling you that you can make $1,000 a week from a 20K trading account, they're either lying to you or they're going to be the richest man in the world in just a couple of weeks because everybody will be giving them money to invest and they'll make hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't think that's going to happen. So I'll put this into the educational series about how you can trade options and ways you can generate extra money in retirement on your portfolio. For example, you can trade things like covered calls, but making $1,000 a week on a 20K account is unreasonable. It is unreasonable without crazy risk. The last thing, someone asked or said, I guess, love the simple side. Is there a lifetime subscription level of membership available? And the answer to that is actually yes, we do lifetime memberships. In fact, we typically only offer lifetime memberships to special requests, and we price the membership to be worth 10 years of our subscription. But since you guys are asking me for it, for a limited time and for a limited number of 5 slots only, I'm going to be offering a 50% discounted lifetime subscription. So you're only going to be paying for 5 years, only 5 slots available. Like I said, the price is going to be dropped from the typical $2,000 all the way down to $1,000. The reason I'm only limiting it to 5 spots is because this is taking away significant revenue that I usually pull in. So we're going to be limiting it to 5 spots, but you can get that. There's a link to get it in the newsletter. Again, thesimpleside.substack.com to find this newsletter and that link. You'll be getting access to our copy trading, our website, our giveaways, any future developments, and our newsletter forever. So go and check that out. And I know that was a lot to talk about, but we're finally going to get into today's newsletter. We're going to talk about some quick updates, just general stuff about the newsletter, our weekly trades performance, our market trends and outlook, our politician trading report, our insider trading report, our gold report, our Buffett pick of the week update, portfolio updates, and tons of other stuff that paying subscribers only get access to, like our stock buy summary, mergers and acquisition stocks, top investment ideas, microcap stock picks, and our earnings and options report. I mean, we are covering everything under the sun and moon in this newsletter, and we're now offering a lifetime subscription. Come on, that's incredible. All right, let's finally get into all this stuff and stop blabbering on about all the things we're adding. Like I said, we've released our beta test of copy trading to a few paying subscribers last week, and it went extremely well. We've got a lot of good feedback, both from the brokerage that I'm working with and from the folks that were involved in this beta test. And I want to say thank you to those of you who created accounts on the platform and put capital on the platform as well. That is incredible. We're going to be sending out more updates and inviting more people to join the copy trading system very soon, so be on the lookout for that. As another reminder, we're bringing back our subscriber raffles. We've got over $4,000 that we're going to be giving away sometime this year, and usually we did $4,000 last year, so it'll probably end up being more than $4,000 this year. So be on the lookout if you're a paying subscriber for an email about the next $2,000 giveaway or raffle. Finally, as a reminder, paying subscribers also have access to the spreadsheet. Again, you can find the link in the newsletter, thesimpleside.substack.com, that shows all of our trades, all of our investments, everything that we have money in, so you can follow along with everything there if you're a paying subscriber. All right. Finally, we're going to talk about some good stuff. Let's talk about our weekly trades performance. Just this past week, we were down 0.21%, while the S&P 500 managed a negative 3.4% return. So we outperformed the market by 3.19%. And over the past 33 weeks, we've outperformed the S&P 500 by nearly 22%, returning 26.79% over those past 33 weeks, while the SPY has only managed a 4.67% return. How crazy is that? Paying subscribers get access to all of those weekly picks. Now let's get into my commentary on the markets and my outlook. So, covering the total market. Currently, the projected market returns for the US are 0.7% for this next year. And this week in the markets, we saw 3,750 stocks with gains in the market and median returns of 8.43%. We also saw 5,743 stocks with losses in the market, and median losses for those stocks were negative 1.53%. The top three performing sectors for this past week were consumer defensive, basic materials, and real estate, which had returns of plus 0.63%, plus 0.3%, and down 0.85%. So just the top three performers already had a negative performing sector for this week. So imagine what these bottom three performers are going to look like, and it is not pretty. We had energy down 4.14%, technology down 3.53%, and consumer cyclical down 3.45%. Big losses. Technology going down 3.53% is a massive drop in market cap and shareholder value for this past week. I do want to say that the market does not show any signs of slowing its current descent into oblivion. Well, maybe not oblivion, but I have to do something to keep podcast listeners and readers hooked, don't I? The biggest companies in the world have been struggling in 2025, which is likely why we're seeing poor performance in the broader market as a whole. Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, these are all losers this year, and the only winner from the big group of stocks that everybody talks about is Meta. And I guess Mark Zuckerberg is remaining victorious with a 6.86% return year to date, outpacing all of those other companies, which are all down below 0% year to date. I guess CEOs who wakeboard are now the market killers. You probably saw an article that I sent out halfway through this week stating the reasons I'm unsurprised by the current downturn of the markets. And an overview of that can be found later on in this newsletter, but the main point is lots of dumb money. The markets have been full of speculation over the past 4 years, and speculation can only last so long before fundamentals begin to take over and companies have to start hitting crazy growth targets. We've seen high inflation, low consumer spending, and the government's ruffling of feathers across the globe, leading to uncertainty in the markets, and we're all feeling it. I suspect that markets will remain increasingly volatile until some good news comes from Washington. I'll be looking for positive updates about the two main wars in Ukraine and Israel, as these could restore confidence in investors. However, if we see good news come from Washington and we see no positive response in the S&P, then we may be in for a very rough 2025. So expect market downturns if that's the case. All right, let's talk about politician trading. Politician trading matters a lot. In fact, in 2024, the top gaining politician was a Republican, David Rouzer, who returned 104.1%, followed closely by Democrat Pelosi, who returned 70.9% over the year. I track two ETFs, which track the Democrat and Republican trades. Both of them were down this week, 4.84% and 3.97%. That's how much they were down on the day. Over the past week, Nance, which tracks Democrat trading, was down 8.27%, and Cruz was down 6.07%. Over the past year, NANC stock was down 3.58%, and KRUZ stock is down 1.51%. I should also mention that both of these indexes are underperforming the SPY year to date, as the SPY is only down 1.49%. Now, over the past 30 days, 16 politicians made 150 trades with a total trade volume of $22.4 million. And the buy-sell ratio on these trades is 2.27, which shows bullish sentiment from politicians. So they're expecting prices to continue to rise. You can go and see the 5 most recent politician trades in the newsletter. There's a picture there again. That's thesimpleside.substack.com to find that. Now let's talk insider trading. We follow a ticker here as well that tracks insider trading. The ticker symbol is SURE, and SURE is down 0.75% this past week. It is down 5% this past month and down 1.94% year to date. The monthly buy-sell ratio for insiders is 0.24%, higher than last week's 0.23%, but is below the median of 0.34%, which indicates a slightly bearish sentiment from insiders. So they're conflicting with politicians there. Again, you can go and see a picture of the 5 most recent insider trades this week in the newsletter. But I want to highlight 2 people from this list, and I would like to do this for all insider trades going forward, as was requested by the subscriber earlier in the podcast. The first one I want to talk about is David Godell, whose average return per transaction is 8.96%, and 60% of his trades that he's made have been outperforming transactions. The ticker that he bought is the highest bought ticker from this past week, and it is TNYA. It's currently 20% of his portfolio, and he has had 6 buys on the stock and currently owns $11 million worth of it. Again, he just bought in $25 million recently, so he is betting big on this stock. The next person that I want to talk about here is William J. Quinn. His average return per transaction monthly is 11.35%, and his outperforming trades from the past month are 100% on one trade. So not a great sample size there, but he has been outperforming. The stock he bought this week was ticker symbol PR, also known as Permian Resources Corporation. This is 95% of his portfolio. Over the past month, he's had 2 buys and 2 sells and currently owns a total of $13 million of the stock. Big bets coming from those insiders. And if you like the way this is formatted, let me know. Send me an email, thesimplesidenews@gmail.com, or again, reply to this wherever you're listening to it. Reply to this wherever you're reading it if you're reading along. Let me know what you thought about that quick analysis on those 2 insiders. We'll be doing more of that in the future. For the sake of shortening up this newsletter, I'm not going to run through our gold analysis, but we hit on 3 main points. We talk about technical indicators, we talk about fundamental indicators for gold, and then we talk about some scenarios in the strategy that you should have based on what you think is going to happen. Another thing that we offer here for free subscribers, if you're reading through, is the Buffett bi-weekly summary. Every week, I tend to send out a stock analysis of how Buffett would rank the stock if he was reading and valuing the stock currently. This week, I opted to send out that Dumb Money article that I spoke about before. So if you want to read about how the what is that? How the COVID era investing surge, how increased risk through leverage, how market overvaluation, and how persistent inflation and economic pressures are leading to an extremely overvalued market, go and read through that quick summary. I also talk about how I'm hedging my portfolio, and paying subscribers know exactly how I'm doing that in this quick section too, so go and check that out. Last but not least, I want to hit on some portfolio updates for you all. Like I said, our copy trading release has been successful. We've been doing well there. This will get sent to more subscribers in the near future. For our flagship fund, which is our best performing and longest lasting portfolio that we send to paying subscribers, we're still outperforming the market by about 1%, while year to date the fund is down. We expect to see stabilized returns over the next couple of months with our ZROZ hedge, which again is a bond hedge, which we talk about to paying subscribers. They've been well aware of this hedge. Something that I wanted to highlight is that I strategically removed NVIDIA from the portfolio at the beginning of 2025, and this has proved to be an incredible move. The stock is down nearly 19% year to date, although we do still have one sour apple in the flagship fund. Ticker ANET or Arista Networks. The stock is down 25% year to date, and we started the year with a 7% weighting in the portfolio. However, I believe that based on the current ROIC to WACC levels, for those of you that don't know, that's returns on invested capital to weighted average cost of capital. This basically just means, can the company make money off the money that it borrows, or are borrowing costs too high for the company? Their ROIC to WACC levels are very high, and I'm expecting a increase in the stock price in the near term. So we'll be watching that closely. If not, I'll be looking at shifting capital out of Google and into Arista Networks. But more updates to paying subscribers to come on that. For our secondhand AI effects portfolio, we see these bets as 5 to 10 year plus term holding periods. And as of now, these stocks aren't performing incredibly well. I think they're down around 4 to 5% year to date. Again, these are long-term bets, so I'm expecting that to happen in the near term, but looking for long-term gains. Our weekly trades, these are performing incredibly well. Limiting our losses at 1%, stop losses at 1% has proved to be extremely beneficial. The SPY has averaged a negative 2.16% return over the past 3 weeks, and we've mitigated losses well with our holding returns at negative 0.24%. So we're nearly 2% outperformance on average over the past 3 weeks. And overall, I'm very happy with our performance of all portfolios. Now, paying subscribers, you know that all of the info and analysis that you need is below, so go and check that out. Enjoy. I will see you all next weekend. Be on the lookout for educational newsletters coming up this week, educational emails coming up this week, copy trading announcements, and more coming this week. Thank you so much for another great weekend here with The Simple Side. Again, please go fill out those forms that are in the newsletter, those surveys. Let me know what you thought. This newsletter was a little bit longer. This podcast was a little bit longer. I want to know your feedback on this. Should I shorten it? Should I make it longer? Are there things I should take out? Are there things I should add? Go and let me know. Again, I'm always improving this newsletter for you, and I cannot wait to see you next weekend.
Welcome to the simple side. Market beating picks inside. There's no jargon and no time to waste. Try the simple side and end up in first place. Welcome to the simple